You're tuned into 102.5 Anyone FM and you're listening to The Issues with me, Ben Messenger, and co-host Deage Paxton.
Hello.
So Deage, would you like to explain to our listeners what the show's all about?
Well, this is the show you say is called Issues with Ben and Deage, where we tackle the real issues in life. Not such like economics or politics or religion, but more why do pandas have black eyes and why I should never presume a woman may be pregnant.
Yeah, that would be pretty awkward. I mean, so if you, the listener, actually have anything you'd like to say on issues such as these, you can contact us by going on the website, which is www.anyoneFM.net. Or you can also text us by starting your message with the letters NE and the number 1, so anyone, plus your message is 60300. So should we crack on with our first issue of the day?
Absolutely. And what really kept me up last night was, what would be the downsides to being a ninja?
Yeah, there's many downsides. I mean, I think the first one is it would be pretty hard to differentiate ninjas from other people. I imagine it would be easy to lose your friends at a convention.
Barry, is that you? No, it's not.
I mean, I can imagine contact lenses being quite popular in the ninja community. I mean, do you know Gary? Which one's Gary again? The one with red eyes. Yeah,
I think that's probably the only way. Either that or they all should have like a different flag. I think that'd be great.
Different what? A ninja flag that you just carry on your person?
I know, if a ninja could just accessorize, that'd be brilliant. Just a scarf or some hat or
I think
something.
that might defeat the purpose of stealth, but I like the idea of fashionable ninjas.
Well, what I was so worried about is you never see ninjas in casual attire, or
Maybe you do and you just don't know it, hiding in plain sight.
But if that's the thing, if that is casual attire, and what do they wear at like funerals and weddings and stuff?
They're always dressed for a funeral. A ninja is like an advocate of death, so I mean, surely a funeral is like where they go.
But I doubt they like follow up on the business clients, you know what I mean?
I was thinking it must be hard to find love. I mean, can you apply to be on like, what's it, uniformdating.com if you are a ninja? What do you like? I like late night walks, hiding in the shadows.
I'll tell you what, Ben, I'll tell you what. How about we'll do something here where you'll be the ninja, right? And
obviously.
You're doing sort of a dating video. I think that'd be fantastic.
A dating video for ninja.
So I'll be the corny voiceover guy, okay? So Ben, would you like to just tell us a little about yourself?
My name's Bob. I'm a ninja. Yeah. I like. I'm looking for a certain kind of woman. One who's available late at night. Doesn't have very close relatives or family. Ready for a long-term commitment. You can never leave me. I mean, sure you won't see me, but I will always be there.
I think that's brilliant. Well done. It really rose to that challenge.
Roasted.
I think other things nobody really considers about ninjas, because everyone thinks it's quite like exciting and things like that, but they never think of sort of the long hours and the fact there's no unions,
The long hours. Yeah, that's the downside to ninjaing, which is obviously the official term.
Ninjaing. I mean, obviously they can't be getting paid much because they do it on contract, and I don't know about you, but there's not much demand for an assassin in the Northeast.
I can think of a few people I'd like ninja'd up.
We were talking about this before. Nobody would actually pay for anyone to kill anyone in the Northeast, but it wouldn't stop you like paying a ninja to punch somebody in the head for about a tenner,
I could say that working on Northumberland Street, just a ninja there, just like, we'll punch for money.
Punch for money. Brilliant. I mean, also, if I've never seen a ninja in anything but sort of the traditional black sort of robe thing, to think they ever wash it. Because, I mean, if they've got friends or they've got a wife, they must be like, for God's sake, Barry, just wash it. Come on.
I mean, that would defeat the purpose of stealth if they could smell you coming.
I know you're behind the fridge, Barry. Come on, get up.
You smell like disappointment.
I don't know why I've named the ninja Barry. I
think it's funnier when they have a more generic name.
Yeah. Would you like to crack on with the next issue? I think this river's running dry.
Yes. Why not?
So, if you could actually have anything on your birthday, anything in the world, what would it be?
The Batmobile, obviously.
Obviously.
I mean, can you imagine rocking up the McDonald's drive-thru in the Batmobile?
The person behind the sort of counter would have a bit of a shock.
What would you like? Fries. A large Coke. Do you think the Batmobile has a cup holder?
Probably.
I mean, Batman's known for his gadgets. Surely he has a cup holder.
Yeah, but it's pretty low. If you're talking about like the old school Batmobile, that was always pretty low down. They'd have the person from the little window would have to really sort of reach down there. I mean, imagine being like a 17-year-old person on your first shift at McDonald's. That being your first job in Batmobile overall. So how would you deal with that?
I mean, if it was the regular, like the cool Batmobile from the recent movies, then that'd be awesome because I mean, McDonald's drive-thrus are quite thin, so that,
Yeah.
that could be your opportunity to break the Batmobile off into the bat cycle or bat poddis, I believe it's called. Just do a quick, swift
You
one.
wouldn't be able to go on the parking base. That's for sure. And wait for your food. I mean, I think if I could have anything on my birthday, it'd be Jedward stuffed and mounted on my wall.
Can I change mine to that?
I mean, I'm not advocates of killing people and stuffing them, but yeah.
Best birthday ever.
You get 2 for 1 for that as well, surely.
Yeah.
You'd definitely class that as one person. I mean, obviously, I've had my 18th birthday was brilliant, but I'm 19 now, and
Getting on.
And what I found out on my 19th birthday was no one seemed to care. I mean,
Nobody cares.
I would love just for one person to genuinely care on my birthday. That'd be lovely.
There's no one but me in the room, so I'll do it for the listeners. Oh,
I know.
Deage.
Just one person to genuinely care. On my
No one
birthday.
cares. Andy's ginger.
I know. I'm cursed if it is.
You're back with the issues with Ben and Deage on 102.5 Anyone FM. That was Kings of Leon with the song Pyro. So yes, we were originally going to do a show for the Hard of Hearing and call it Anyone Listening.
I mean, unlike our current show, anyone there?
Sign language doesn't really come across on the radio, Deage, but I think you get the hint.
Oh dear.
So yes, we've actually received our first email from a lady called Winnie, saying, I'd like Ed Sheeran to sing for me on my birthday. We can't sort out Ed Sheeran for you, but I do know a ginger guy who thinks he can sing.
Listen,
Called Deage.
I don't even like Ed Sheeran. I think he's a bit of a douchebag to start with. And the fact he looks like a cross between a troll doll and a chimp. It doesn't help, you know.
There's a hint of bitterness in it. I think it's like we said on the last show, it's just every time that there's a new ginger in the public lexicon, you're really upset because everyone compares you to them.
That's the thing. But I was talking about to you. Everyone assumes Rupert Grint is our go-to kind of guy.
Your leader.
I know. As soon as the Harry Potter films came out, he was like, "Oh my God, you look like Ron Weasley." No, I don't. It's just literally another ginger person for you to compare me to.
Yours are all the same. It's the only form of acceptable racism, and racism is never acceptable.
Exactly. Should we move?
I think we should.
Yeah. Move
before
on.
we offend everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's move on.
I know you were thinking about this, but what kind of real life applications could we have for mythical creatures?
What you mean, like riding a griffin to work?
Exactly, that's what I'm thinking.
I imagine is it Minotaur or Minotaur?
Either one you want.
Does that just depend on where you come from?
Is it Jesus, Jesus? Nobody knows.
I definitely think it's Jesus. I actually got thrown out of RE once for arguing with the teacher that Norm was still alive to prove that he wasn't called Jesus. And it was all because I was like 12, 13 and used to watch wrestling, and there was a wrestler called Jesus. And I was like, well, there's a wrestler and he's called Jesus, so surely that is fact. The WWF has never let me down. Yes, so like I said, I think real life applications for mythical creatures, I think a Minotaur would be good for like pulling things, or maybe in the demolition industry.
I think he would probably get discriminated against. But to be fair, if he was in the demolition industry, he couldn't wear a hard hat. I mean, with them horns, for a start, you know.
You would just have to fashion your own hard hat.
Put holes in it.
Put holes in a hard hat. I mean, like Medusa, you know that weird lady with the snake for hair.
Yeah.
She could make really good, like live statues, because whoever she looks at just turns to stone. She could just get someone to pose in a great position, stare at them, stick that up in Newcastle city centre. Brilliant.
I think one of the great advantages of being a centaur, like half man, half human, be able to blend in with society, but also defecate on the street.
That's always been the dream. I mean, because when you do it, it's just awkward.
It is just a little bit. Personally, I was thinking, I saw one of them Cash for Gold adverts,
Yeah.
and I was thinking, wow, maybe leprechauns should be running this, you know? They know a lot about gold, surely, and it must be quite hard finding work for them, being the size of it all.
I was going to say that. Well, that makes me. I've got something along the lines of gnomes would be quite good for shelling prawns. It's that kind of idea of just small people would be good for smaller tasks.
Well, that's not really applicable. You don't see lots of dwarves shelling like prawns and stuff.
How do you know? Have you met every dwarf? Maybe there is a dwarf that works in the. If you are a prawn shelling dwarf, please do write into the show.
Yeah, we would like to hear from a prawn shelling dwarf. That's really hard to say.
Yeah, it is.
That's really hard.
I was thinking for mythical creatures, Bigfoot, like the abominable snowman, or Yeti, should just work in city centres, just giving out hugs.
Oh,
how soft would that be?
That's a lovely idea. He'd be a great advert for like Pantene. Just the Yeti sweeping these glorious locks back, saying he's worth it.
I've just watched too much Harry and the Hendersons.
But to be fair, I think if sort of mythical creatures were real, it wouldn't be about like long before McDonald's would get hold of them and make them into McNuggets. You know what I mean? There's a lot of meat on a griffin. That's all I'm saying. You know?
So along for mythical creatures, I mean, Jesus.
Oh
no!
Oh,
All I'm saying is he could really do some good work in the wine industry. I mean, just think about it. Turns water into wine. He'd be rich in no time.
How about we move on to the next issue before we go down a religious path? You know, because this is the issues. We don't want to tackle any sort of
real issues. It's the modern man issues that aren't important.
I was thinking, if you could invent anything, no matter how ludicrous, what would it be?
I mean, it's one of those things. What would you take on Dragon's Den? It's like a similar question. I mean, I think is everyone aware of the Snuggie? You know, like it's like
is that sort of all-in-one blanket you can put your arms in?
Yes, the advert's amazing because my favourite part of the advert for the Snuggie is it shows you a woman with a normal blanket. And it says,
it's the
blankets are okay.
It's a typical JML advert, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
New from JML. Are you tired of having a blanket with no sleeves? And it's got like some grey-scaled woman that's had to reach outside of a blanket for a remote.
because her house is just too cheap to put the heating on.
So anyway, your invention.
Yeah, my invention is to undercut their market by putting magic gloves, you know, those gloves that one size fits all, just on the end of Snuggies. And you never have to be cold.
Wow. That's brilliant. Wow, that is probably.
I'm actually going to take that to Dragon's Den.
It's a good thing the listeners can't see me right now because my mind has been blown all over the wall.
I mean, what would you invent?
A BS-ometer, which is sort of to like really point out when people are lying, because you know when people are just lying to your face. I would love like an alarm or something. Just
an alarm.
You're lying.
Just a shower. Liar, liar, liar.
Yeah, my name's Mark. I spent the summer in Guantanamo helping out orphans. Liar.
I actually spent it alone crying in my bitter loneliness.
I would love that, you know.
I mean, I was thinking of something along the lines of. The name's a work in progress. Currently, it's called the Defatifier, and the idea is that you can eat whatever you like, but then it gets filtered straight out of your body, and this machine puts the good stuff that you need to survive and not be a fatty into your body.
This is literally the thinking of a fat little man.
Yeah, basically the idea is that I want to keep eating McDonald's, but I want to have like the body of a Spartan, but I also don't want to exercise or eat healthy.
That's the, you see them people in gyms, you know, they've been there for like 4 hours, and you just go, wow, why have you been there so long? Why?
I signed up to a gym once, and I think I lasted about a month. Word of advice: if you go to the gym, don't wear a grey T-shirt. It shows up every bit of sweat on your body.
And you're a sweaty man. We all know this. I mean, a friend of mine, I used to go to the gym with a friend of mine, and we used to drive to the gym and then go on a treadmill. Yeah. Which just boggles me. I've got no idea why we thought that sort of made sense, you know. But I thought, just as an idea for the last sort of invention before we move on to a song, maybe, the chav changer. It's basically a giant van that can suck up chavs and spit them back out wearing like mana clothes, sort of like, mate, I'm out for a tab. And then they come out going, well, I do say it's time to go home. I'm gonna do some fox hunting and eat some quail.
That like guy who's like bugging you for 10 pence on the street, Johnny comes out as Jeeves and just like, could I interest you in some caviar, sir?
Exactly.
We've actually got an email from someone called Janie, and she said, if Jesus was in Newcastle, he would turn water into Lambrini.
Nice.
I like that. Not Lambrini. Nobody likes Lambrini.
Well,
no, they do. Teenage pregnant mothers. Or whatever,
I don't think if Jesus was a child drinking Lambrini, I don't think he'd call himself Jesus. He'd be like, Big J in the his, eh? Lambrini up in here.
That might just be you.
To be fair, Jesus did hang around with a whore, so, 6 and 2 3s.
You're back with the issues on Any1 FM.
That was fluent.
That was smooth. You can tell what radio pros. That was Foster the People with Call It What You Want. Remember, you can email us from the website, which is www.any1fm.net. Just click on the contact tab. You can also text us by starting your message with anyone, plus your message is 60300.
We really enjoyed that, didn't we? I had a little dance in the studio.
Yeah, we did. We've actually received a text from a guy called Steve. So first of all, thanks for texting Steve.
Just Steve.
Just Steve. Judging by the content of his message, I can see why I just went by Steve. He's put, if he could invent anything, he'd invent a self-pleasure phone box.
Okay, Steve, I just want to ask you this. Why are you finding phone boxes so arousing?
Did you send that from the phone box, Steve? That's not what that slot's for, and you know it.
Naughty, Steve.
But no, thank you very much for...
That's like an interactive sex line, if anything, you know. Sort of Press the red button now to be fondled.
Shall we crack on with our next issue?
I really wish we would.
Yes. Well, if you could be anyone...
Steve, please, keep writing in, that's fantastic.
Yeah, that was gold.
Anyway, next issue, Ben.
Yes, if you could be anyone for a day, who would you be and why?
Well, I think the obvious sort of man choice would be Megan Fox.
Oh, definitely.
I mean,
definitely.
I think we discussed this on the car, and we both went, who would you be and why? And we both said Megan Fox in unison,
yeah.
synonymously, you know.
Megan Fox naked in front of a mirror. I'm not a creep, she's just a fine specimen of a human.
You could spend all day looking at all that. there's new angles you would discover that you'd go,
it's just,
God damn.
I mean, I hate to be the one to, try and turn things normal again, but we've just been creepy for the past 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But if I could actually be anyone, I'd probably be Ryan Gosling in the film Drive.
Why do you love Ryan Gosling?
I just want to be.
How do we go from Megan Fox to Ryan Gosling?
It's because I'm not gay, but I would. It's just, I don't know what it is. It's just, I want to be one of those blokes who, when women look at them, they're like, yeah, instead of the guy who, when women look at, go, man, that guy's hairy.
Mine's normally, why is he in the corner crying?
We've actually received another text. I just need to quickly read it and see if it's decent for radio. It's from Steve. Says, gingers are by nature very ungrateful specimens. They don't even deserve chocolate birthday brownies.
Okay, well, Steve,
I think he's turned bitter because we don't like his phone box idea.
You know what? Actually, I agree, Steve. We're a very better race, you know. I'm not bothered about being sort of ginger because, at the end of the day, God bless us in other departments. Instead of getting
personality, I mean, it's 10 in the morning, Deage.
I mean, instead of getting pleasured in a phone box, I'm in a radio.
Smooth. So we'll move swiftly on. We'll move swiftly.
I think if I could be anyone for a day, personally, I'd be Batman. We were talking about Batman earlier. But
we love Batman.
We love Batman on the show. This show is a dedication.
The show was originally just going to be called Batman.
How cool would it be, Batman? Oh, come on.
What wouldn't be cool about being Batman?
But you'd have to choose which Batman you want to be. Would be the Batman from the modern films because he just seems to have a lot of sort of issues. Not
to
much
be fair, I don't think I can keep that voice up. I imagine he has to go through a lot of lozenges.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like, come on,
I'm Batman. It's like, well, no, the suit was a giveaway. I'm Batman. But I saw you pull up the McDonald's drive-thru in the Batmobile. I'm Batman. I know you're bad. Calm down.
I think. I prefer the sort of older Batmans. The Adam West Batmans. I would love to be Adam West Batman.
See, I love that show because it's hilariously bad. But I also think he's just wearing a tight onesie. The whole thing is what protection does that give you from anything?
Yeah, but Adam West filled it out nicely.
Fills it out nicely. What I love about the Batsuit is on the actual is it cowl that he wears? It's got white drawn on eyebrows.
Yeah.
Like most of the women that I meet in Newcastle.
Oh.
What? I just go to classy venues.
But I think, do you want to move? We'll move on to sort of the next person I thought of. I would really love to be is a wizard, not necessarily sort of Harry Potter because he's a bit of a nerd, and he doesn't seem to have a lot of free time. Harry,
you just don't want me to get the Ron Weasley thing in, do you? That's all it is.
So let's move past. Let's
pretend that never happened.
I think being a wizard would be great, but you'd have to because Harry seems to sort of use his powers wisely, and I don't want to do that.
That's why you're not a wizard. That's not the only reason.
That's the main thing standing me way that I'm not a wizard because I've just abused the power.
You would abuse the power.
Of course I would. Who wouldn't?
Who wouldn't? What would you abuse it with? What would you? I don't know. Keep it decent, but what would you?
I don't know. I'd just like to sort of make just shrink people and just generally
just people you don't like.
Just have one of my friends turn away and they turn back and I've got an elephant's face. That'd be just to sort of really keep them on their toes. Shall we move on to the next issue?
Yes, let's.
Similar to our last topic, if money was no object, what would you do?
Well, I mean it's a big one. It's would I end world hunger? Would I house the homeless?
No.
Would I invent a cure for cancer?
No.
No, I'd make Willy Wonka's chocolate factory a reality.
Do you know why? Because this is the issue.
Yeah, exactly. We don't deal with any of that real stuff. Would you grown-ups talk about?
Would you like to elaborate on your giant chocolate factory?
I was going to
say, would you like to elaborate? I was going to say, would you like to elaborate on your willy then? And I thought, no,
we're bigger than that.
Yeah,
we're not, but
bigger.
would like to be invited back to the studio. That's all it is, really. No, I just love it. I just want a stream of chocolate. I've noticed a lot of my things just seem to be generated around food. You're
a man of simple pleasures, but
I'm going to be very fat as an old man. That's all there is to it.
I mean, there are people who already sort of abuse this. I know you don't watch football, but there's a footballer called Balotelli,
Yeah.
and he gets paid something like
They
160,000.
kick a ball. Brilliant.
Yeah, but Balotelli's absolutely brilliant because he's slightly insane. Like on Christmas, what he did was he rounded up loads of homeless people, put them up in a 5-star.
Rounded up.
No, literally rounded up loads of homeless people.
Yeah.
Put them all up in like a 5-star hotel, got them spas and stuff like that, just 'cause he could. You know, I think the other thing he did was on New Year's Eve he went round in a limo dressed like Santa, throwing iPods at people.
That's genius.
I know.
It hurt, but it's got all the songs I like on, so it's brilliant.
I mean, I think that's the great thing about people who've got a ridiculous amount of money when they go a bit crazy like Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen had everything.
He did what everyone wanted to do when they have money. He did what it's not really acceptable what he did, but he did what any normal man would really do with that kind of money.
You know, people judge saying, oh, he went on a big binge and he was living with adult movie stars and he had a different wife. And it's like, well, yes, that's what every man would do.
Yeah.
If it's like, oh, I would never do that. Yes, you would.
Well, what's the point in making all that money if you're not going to spend it? You know what I mean?
Exactly. You know, but. If I had like unlimited money, say, I would just pay people to do ridiculous things, just like drink that. What is it? I don't know. Just drink it because I've got the money to pay you.
What? So you just use it for your own personal gain to make others look like an idiot?
Absolutely.
I like it. You're tuned into The Issues with Ben and Deage on 102.5 Anyone FM. That was MGMT with Kids. Remember, you can email us from the website, which is www.anyoneFM.net, and you can also text us by starting a text message with anyone to 60300, like resident show pester Steve.
Who is this?
Who is this mystery Steve? I love him. He's my favourite person today. What's he said? He said something about he would choose Demolition Man.
Is that for who? If you could be anyone, choose who? Right? And I'm assuming you mean like Sylvester Stallone film Demolition Man.
Yeah, he would choose that because he wants the cool suit, the cool car, and the cool guns.
I don't know, Steve. That seems.
He doesn't want to be Wesley Snipes in the dungarees. I don't think. Dungarees are never cool.
It just seems like a lot of effort, you know.
We've actually received an email from a friend of mine called Sam Hogg, who's a great guy. He actually loves Ryan Gosling more than me. I've probably just made his day just by saying that. His message says he's talking about inventions, saying the most, what we were talking about earlier, if you could invent anything. He said the most prolific local invention would be to invent a contact lens, which allowed the user to execute the current emotion present in any recipient of eye contact.
That's both bitter and confusing.
I like it. It says mainly useful on those raw lasses from Newcastle University, who are so astoundingly happy because they play hockey for the team and Daddy pays for everything. Sound a bit better there, Sam.
A little bit better.
I like it. I must just say, for diversity purposes, there's also probably some lovely people at Newcastle University.
Probably.
I mean, not many, but there's probably some lovely people at Newcastle University.
Well, I go to Northumbria University, and my brother goes to Newcastle.
Yeah.
And,
Are you just saying that your brother's a terrible person?
And even though we're from the same sort of family and the same sort of background and everything, like, pretty much the same person, he still like turns his nose up, so like, yeah, studying law.
Smooth. Should we crack on with our next issue?
We absolutely should. Do you think it'd be a good thing if animals could talk? And if they could talk, what would they say?
I like that. It's yes and no, I suppose. I mean, I'd love if my dog would just come over to us and be like, "Can you stop patting us on the head, please?" It's kind of patronising. And I need a wee, so open the back door.
I think a dog would be a very cynical person, very lazy and cynical sort of person.
Like they say, it's a dog's life, isn't it? So I mean, that's the life that I generally try to lead, lying down as much as possible. I don't get stroked that much.
You don't? Well, not
hair, man. Hair. No one really strokes my hair. I'm just trying to keep this really.
I stroke your hair. I stroke your hair all the time. It's
that was meant to be our little secret.
It's quite.
There's at least 5 people listening.
I know that you can't people that the listeners may not be able to say this, but Ben has got some luxurious hair.
It's become a bit of a thing on this station for people to comment on my hair. I don't understand. I was on a RSW show, which is on this very station, just Wednesday gone. And there was many emails coming in, people asking for pictures of my hair. It got a bit awkward. I was like, I was enjoying it at first, and then it got a bit creepy.
You've got a fine mane.
I mean, the listeners can't see, but Deej is staring at me very worryingly right now, looking at my hair with envy because he's a ginger.
I think. Okay, thanks then.
No, so let's get back to the subject at hand. If animals could talk, what would your opinion be?
I think the greatest advantage would be animals sort of being able to give testimony. Like, sort of, you know, like you get animal abuse and stuff like that. Like a woman who put the cat in the bin.
Yeah.
You know, if the cat could just yeah, that was her.
Yeah. just a line up and a cat pointing.
Yeah.
That's genius.
I mean, I don't know who you would trust more, the human or the cat, but
I don't
see
know.
now though, I did see this is no word of lie. I was in town the other day, and there was the little girl and a man feeding the pigeons like bread and stuff.
Yeah.
There's a homeless guy 2 yards away. It's like, so what? You choose pigeons over a homeless man?
Yeah, but if he was that hungry, he would have been nudging the pigeons aside, just going for the bread.
I mean, I'm sure he has some dignity. he's not going to beg for scraps of bread, you know.
No, but if animals could talk, I mean, imagine as the zoo would just become an entirely different experience, you know. Just walking past the gorilla enclosure, like, what are you looking at?
I think again on the zoo topic, I think they sort of get like locked in syndrome. You know, they're sitting there like going, "Come on, man, just let me out for a little while."
No TV.
Just slamming on the glass. I'm not surprised they get like slamming on the glass and stuff. And like, you know, when like you see animals sort of making love, and
yeah, that's what animals do. The amount of times they'll just go past the gorilla enclosure and they just got a candlelit dinner, just looking at each other longingly.
But
you know, it's about to
if they
go
could
down.
talk, they'd just be like, "This isn't a peep show. This is private time, private gorilla time. Can we stop it?" You know?
It is just a peep show. I agree. People just go there to watch.
I would also, if I was sort of talking to any animal, I'd like to see if elephants actually have a good memory and put this myth to bed. What can you actually remember? Well,
there's one time back in 1940, you weren't even alive. I read.
An elephant that can read. Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
You're tuned into The Issues with Ben and Deage on 102.5 Anyone FM, and that was Eminem with Superman. Just remember that you can email the show by going on the website, which is www.anyoneFM.net. Just clicking on the contact tab and winging an email, which would be brilliant. You can also text us, like my good friend Steve, just by starting your message anyone.
Gotta love Steve. You gotta love
exactly.
Steve.
Just start your message anyone to the number 60300. Steve has actually texted again because, like us, he's probably one of the only people up at this time in the morning who aren't at work.
Thanks, Steve.
He's asked us a question, which is good, which is what's the strangest thing you've bought that you thought was good at the time, but then in hindsight wasn't?
Well, not necessarily me, but every year my brother tries to buy things for Christmas for me that sort of annoy my mother. You know, I think the first year. He started off with a megaphone, which I just walked around Christmas Day announcing all my thoughts out loud. And if you've been listening for the past hour, you
Merry Christmas, I love you, just right in the face.
And then the following year, it progressed up to he bought us a crossbow, right?
Because that's so you can alert someone before you shoot them.
It was just you know the ones that got like the sucker darts on.
Yeah.
Just spent hours running around the house shooting my neighbours and stuff.
Yeah, blinding the cat.
But this year he went the extra mile. He bought us a paintball gun.
Yeah.
Which I think is absolutely brilliant because I took it down to Glasgow on a bit of a car journey, you know, and I was just shooting cattle.
Nice. Thank you. Using it for good purposes.
Anything that you've been bought or?
Well, I recently bought a ukulele for the idea of doing something with it for stand up, but then I chose not to. So now I'm just a guy who's 25 who has a SpongeBob SquarePants ukulele.
Awesome.
You're
my kind of guy.
One of those things where you buy it at the time, you're like, this is hilarious, and then really you bring a girl back and she's like, why have you got a SpongeBob ukulele?
Where are the children?
This is awkward.
Should we
crack on?
Next issue?
Yes.
Next issue of the day. If you could ask God one question directly and receive an answer, what would you ask?
Oh, well, a friend of mine actually said a brilliant one, which she said she would ask God why Brazil nuts are called Brazil nuts when they are neither Brazilian or a nut.
Fantastic friends.
But I mean, personally, I would ask him why he doesn't help her with the important things like, you know, how to get better at Call of Duty.
You know.
And help Deage be attractive to ladies.
Oh, yeah.
Any ladies.
Anyone.
What would you ask him?
I would like to see which bits are like, if I was assuming it's a Christian God, I was sort of assuming that.
Well, I mean, personally, I really hope that it's Zeus, god of thunder, but that's just me.
I would love to just get to heaven and sort of, if heaven was real, but get there and God's just sitting on a sofa watching telly, he's going, oh, sorry guys, I wasn't watching that. What's been going on?
My bad.
And then if I could ask him, I want to know which bits are true. I'd love to see if like you go, oh, did you hear about Noah and the Ark? Has he been spreading lies like that again? There's no
Damn
such
it,
thing,
Noah.
you know.
No, it's like the unofficial first zoo, wasn't it, the Ark?
I mean, well, I do Josh, but I do Josh, you know. But
I'm just laughing at the term Josh, and do people still
joshing
say
you
that?
about. But I think the clear choice is why am I ginger? I think that'd be the clear choice.
We've received another email from a good friend, Steve.
Steve.
Steve. We're going to have to rename the show for next one. It's just going to have to be The Issues with Ben Deage and unofficial third member, Steve. He said, can you play an Oasis song for Stevie Donnelly, which I imagine is Steve's actual name,
You know
Alec
what?
Beavers and his friend Billy Hartley for the Dunstan Massive.
The Dunstan Massive.
So for the Dunstan Massive, let's play some Oasis.
Should we hold up a capital D with our hands?
Yes.
Make a sign. Okay, this is
Big up to the Dunstan Massive.
This is for Steve.
I'm so white, brap.
You are the whitest person I know.
Yeah, that's rich coming from a ginger guy. I like it. Come on, let's rock out some Oasis.
Oasis, She's Electric. Hope you enjoyed, Steve.
You're back with The Issues with Ben and Deage on 102.5 Anyone FM. That was Oasis with She's Electric for Stevie D and the Dunstan Massive.
Dunstan Massive.
Steve. We've actually received an email from a guy called Sam. Actually, my good friend Sam, actually, same guy, saying what the question he would ask God is, out of all the other gods, who is the ladies' man / best dressed?
I'd go. Is it Ganesh or?
I'll accept Ganesh.
I think Ganesh is one with the elephant's head. But there's Vishnu, the guy with 4 arms. He's like, yeah, I've got 4 hands, baby.
You like that?
All over pleasure. I mean, I think Zeus and Thor with the sort of tour guy and the
they're
lion.
kind of ripped, aren't they? Yeah.
Okay then. Yeah, you're ripped.
Well,
Thor.
regular Christian God's got a really good beard.
Can I see a hammer? You know?
Oh.
I mean,
is it went there? Has it really went there?
I think, unfortunately, Ben, it's around that time.
I know, I think it is. Well, we've only really got time to say thanks for all our listeners, thanks for all our emails, thanks to Steve.
I know,
And,
I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and if you want me back, harass the station, because, we'll be back in about 2 weeks. 2 weeks, yeah, Ben?
Yeah, well, we'll be setting up a Facebook page, so you can just search the issues and find we're on there, because we'll be putting them up as podcasts, because no one's awake at this time in the morning except Steve.
So, guys, if you want to sort of like one on the Facebook page, try and follow her, try and get a bit of a following going, and we'll try and be back in about 2 weeks with some more issues, some real man issues. And from me and Ben, thanks for listening to the dulcet tones of The Issues with Ben and Deage.